where when I worked for my own business, I controlled a lot. If things weren't working, I could fix it. But in a nonprofit world, the need is always greater than your ability to fix it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, Mike. Thank you so much for joining our You Happy podcast today. To start off, could you just share a bit about yourself, what drew you into Who Lives, and give us a snapshot of organization mission?
Great. Well, thank you very much. We're happy to be joining your podcast today. My name is Mike Anderson. I'm the Director of Operations for Who Lives. And Who Lives stands for Water, Health, and Opportunity. We're a nonprofit organization that helps bring critical water infrastructure to those in need in developing countries. What brought me to the organization, an
Hmm.
interesting story. About 8 years ago, I was really living the American dream. I owned my own business. I was very successful. My wife and I had a great life. And I just kind of woke up one day and was very discontented. I just felt like I was tired of traveling, tired of the grind. And so I sold my business and tried to find something maybe where I could give back a little bit. And I
Oh,
actually saw an ad for Who Lives. They wanted a director of Just Get It Done. And I
hmm.
thought, "Oh, I can probably do that." And so I joined the organization about 8 years ago, and it's been a fantastic ride ever since.
So, how is the situation from going from a successful business to an organization like this? Can you describe the moment and how you felt and everything?
Huh, boy, what a challenge. I tell my friends, I took an 80% pay cut for first thing. That's the first thing that happened. But in reality, I'm much happier now. I'm
Hmm.
much happier doing a job where I give back. One of the biggest challenges in nonprofit work is that the need is always much greater than your ability to fulfill. And so that can be a big challenge where when I worked for my own business, I controlled a lot.
Hmm.
If things weren't working, I could fix it. But in a nonprofit world, the need is always greater than your ability to fix it.
Yeah, 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 that's right. So, Who Lives focuses on empowering communities rather than just handling out aid. So, a bit innovation like the human-powered village drill. Can you explain how that approach came to life and why it's so transformative?
We've learned from experience that when you donate things, you create dependency and entitlement. You might solve a problem in the short term, but you really hurt a community in the long term when you just donate. So we learned many years ago that instead of donating, we empower local drill teams with the
Hmm.
village drill, this huge innovative technology that allows us to drill a borehole in 75% more locations, but at a cost of about 75% less than other drilling methods. So we empower these drill teams to go to their communities and offer low cost borehole drilling solutions that they purchase instead of are donated. And the difference is tremendous. When a community owns their own water source, they have pride of ownership. They'll defend it, they'll repair it, and they learn by working together they can solve their own problems rather than waiting for a handout.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, since you're a big part of your model involves training local drill crews and offering interest-free loans, like how you witnessed and how this builds pride, self-reliance, and long-term impact.
Well, I'll just give you an example of two communities.
Okay.
We went to one community that had a donated well, and another group donated the well. And when we
Hmm.
went there, we found the well was in disrepair. It wasn't working. And yet they had their hand out saying to us, "Hey, we need a new well, and we need a school, and we need a health clinic." And they just had this entitlement mentality of someone gave us a well before, so you should do it again. And then, on contrast, we went to one of our projects where we had given them an interest free loan, and they didn't ask us for anything, but rather they said, "Look what we've done with the water." And they showed us how they had built a tank and a tower to store the water. They had built a distribution center to send the water to their farm and their school. And the
Wow.
attitude was totally different.
Yeah,
That's a
totally
big
different.
difference.
Yeah, big difference. So you emphasize also services for women and girls, reducing time collecting water and tackling issues like FGM. Can you share a powerful story that illustrates this impact?
Boy, that FGM is a terrible thing. It stands for female genital mutilation. And it's a practice that they cut these young girls in many parts of the developing world and then sell them as child
Yeah,
brides.
yeah, yeah.
It's terrible. So one of the things that we've done, we help to support local law enforcement in Kenya. We
Mm-hmm.
helped to rebuild a child-friendly courthouse so these young girls could have a place where they could confront their abusers and their cutters, and they've been sending them to prison. It's been
Mm-hmm.
a wonderful thing, and it's a bright place with books and children's drawings on the walls. It's a really impactful place where they could go and feel safe while they face those that have harmed them.
Well, this is really good, but based on the FGM, this is really terrible. Like, I don't know how they do this without the authorities knowing or anything else, but I don't know what to say about this. But beyond from water to opportunity, beyond wells, who lives support village vitalization also. So like chicken farms or sewing shops. What's one example where clean water sparked a ripple of economic activity?
Oh, great question. We have a little village that we work with in Vihiga, Kenya, and
Mm-hmm.
we've drilled several water wells around that area. And we asked the residents, like, what do you need now? You have clean water. How are you going to make it impact your community? And they came back with several small businesses that they wanted to start. One was, again, a sewing center. One wanted to start beehives. One wanted to start a brick building business. And so we partnered with the community savings and loan organization,
Mm-hmm.
and we provided the capital for these local residents to build these small businesses surrounding the water points. Now, in just this year, in one village, we've helped to start 30 small businesses
Wow.
with low interest loans
Uh-huh.
and training and mentoring to help them run a successful business.
Yeah, so I was going about to ask you who lives partners with corporations, NGOs, and universities also. So, how do these collaborations amplify the mission and any standout partnerships? Like exactly very specific, like do they need to provide something to you, or how does the documents or whatever needs to be, for example, to continue with the partnership or anything that you want to partner with someone?
Yeah, let me give you an example. We have a great corporate partner in Texas that's called Ulterra Drilling Systems.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they provide us with diamond drilling bits for
Wow.
our village drill. But they also support us by having a payroll deduction match. If
Mm-hmm.
one of their employees decides to donate $5 or $10 a month to Who Lives, the corporation will match it. And
Mm-hmm.
that really, over the course of a year, that a company, even a small company, can provide a well for an entire village. We also have many corporations that send their employees on an impact mission trip with us to Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we're
Yeah.
going to probably take 60 people with us on these trips, and many of them are from corporate sponsors who partner with us. The employees, when they see the work that the corporation is doing, they come back more engaged with company purpose and
Mm-hmm.
culture, and it really helps unify the company culture.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask you about the Kenya. How do these experiences benefit both the communities and the volunteers? Do you have a standout moment for these missions or no?
Well, a couple it especially impacts young people.
Uh-huh.
We've had some teenagers where the parents have told us after the trip, like, my child is totally different. They're no
Yeah.
longer looking at their phone all day. They
Uh-huh.
get their friends
That's
to go out
great.
and play soccer or football, and then they're getting off of Facebook and those kind of things. It has a really impactful event in a young person's life. But we've also had some adults that have been just moved to tears and action when they see extreme poverty and they realize that, even a small donation can make a big difference. We
Hmm.
call it an impact mission. We're not trying to impact the people that we're going to visit. We're trying to have our guests be impacted and realize that even a small action can make a big difference in their own life.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of successes you have. So despite the successes, for example, 14,000 plus wells and org awards, what has been one of your best challenges in building a self-sustainable, scalable model, and how did your team adapt to that?
Wow, what a great question. Being in a nonprofit, it's all about fundraising.
Yeah,
It's two
exactly.
things. You have to raise the funds, and then you have to turn those funds into
Hmm.
income.
What do you
We've got
use
the
to
in,
raise the funds, like any channel or any event or whatever?
Yeah, we have an annual gala. We have a gala coming up
Uh-huh.
on September 18th where we invite people to come and support our efforts. We also do a lot of corporate outreach. We try to find
Yeah.
local small businesses who want to make an impact.
And
And
the
then we
gala
talk to
is where
friends and
exactly?
neighbors. The gala is in Salt Lake City at the
Okay.
Mill Creek Event Center. on September 18th. And you can buy tickets online at wholives.org.
Oh, really good. So about awareness and funding, communicating about water access, economic empowerment, and ending child marriage is complex. So how do you maintain clarity and a momentum in outreach and fundraising?
Yeah, great questions. We have a fantastic team of
Mm-hmm.
experts in the field in Kenya and Uganda and Burundi. Our drill masters and our in-country people keep us very up to date on what's going on. We have a person that's in charge of helping to end FGM. He's tireless. His name's Jimmy Mukundu, and he just works
Shout out
unbelievable
to
hours.
Jimmy.
And shout out to Jimmy. He's the tip of the sword when it comes to helping us end FGM. But we also have fantastic drill masters like Davison Chengoni and Kareem
Mm-hmm.
Naku, Stephen Bingana. These young
Yeah.
men have built businesses for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also having a tremendous impact in their communities. I talk to them almost every day. We have a really robust back office on our website where we're able to help them with photos and training. And we speak to them all the time to make sure that we're having the
Yeah.
impact and
What's
make
your
sure the donors' dollars are used in the best possible way.
yeah, what's your team member number right now? Do you have any exact number or like with
Uh,
volunteers and everything?
yeah, you bet. In Utah, we have four people that are paid on our staff in
Mm-hmm.
Utah. We
Okay.
have a group of ambassadors who just support Who Lives and they
Mm-hmm.
talk to their friends and neighbors.
Yeah.
And then in Africa, we have about five full-time employees
Mm-hmm.
that help to do the impact, along with the drill teams who we hire, probably maybe employment for about 20 people.
Yeah, a lot are working so hard to get as best as possible. So, what's next for Who Lives? New regions, new technologies, or deeper community project? What excites you the most?
Yes, two things really excite me. One, we've just developed the new village drill hybrid. The
Oh.
village drill used to be just human powered. People would
Mm-hmm.
stand upon a wheel and they just pull it all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've converted it to be run either on human power or electric power. And so we're getting those electric power adapters out to the drill teams and helping them drill faster and deeper and even more boreholes than ever before. And then the other thing we're working on is continuing to expand our community funded loan program and our business development mentorship programs. Those programs are impacting real people every day. We're seeing thousands of people blessed every month by
Mm-hmm.
having access to clean water and hundreds of people every month having access to low cost capital to start small businesses. That's what we're really excited about right now.
Since we're talking about the support for someone who's listening right now who wants to help, whether through donation, corporate partnership, or joining an impact mission, what's a meaningful next step you want to share with them?
Go to wholives.org. That's our website. On wholives.org, you can learn about becoming a corporate sponsor. We love to work with business owners to help them engage their employees, lower retention, and even increase profitability by partnering with us. You can
Okay.
also learn about our impact mission trips. Now, the trips for 2025, they're all sold out. We don't have any space at
Mm-hmm.
all in 2025, but you can register for a 2026 trip. Then you can also see our water projects. You go to a page that's called Our Projects. You can see some of the villages and learn stories about the people that are being impacted and make a donation in support of any project on our website.
What's a recent moment that filled you with hope or pride when you saw Who Lives mission come alive in a village or community?
Wow. Last time I went to Kenya, I was able to be the first customer for a new business owner.
Wow.
And that was really cool. We
Uh-huh.
helped him establish the business. He bought the equipment, and I handed him 1,000 shillings, which is about $8. And I
Mm-hmm.
was the first customer at a brand new business. That was just a highlight for me as I watched this young man who's now going to be able to provide for his family
Mm-hmm.
and build his future.
So do you continue monitoring these businesses or no then after the start of the
Oh, yes.
business?
No, no. The mentor stays with them for a full year,
Oh
and the
wow.
mentor gives us a report every month.
Yeah, every
They send us
month.
pictures, and we get a report
Mm-hmm.
every month. Plus, we watch how they're paying their loans. And I'll tell you a little story of these 30 businesses that have been started so far since
30
January.
businesses.
30 businesses, not one person has missed a loan payment.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah,
They're all making their
incredible.
small loan payments. We've seen increases in sales up to 300% for some
Mm-hmm.
local businesses. And it's just been a phenomenal program.
Yeah, that's really good. So finally, last question. Do you have a guiding quote or personal philosophy about services and community impact that you would like to share here?
You know, gosh, what a great question. Humanitarian work is hard.
Yeah.
As we said, sometimes the need is always greater than the ability. I remember that story told years ago of a young child walking along a beach, and there were thousands and thousands of these starfish that had washed up on the beach. And they would take a starfish and they would throw it back in the water. And an older person came up to them and they said, "What are you doing? There's thousands and thousands of starfish. You can't possibly make a difference." And the young person picked up one starfish and threw it back into the water. And they said, "It made a difference to that one." And that's kind of how I feel. We can't do everything, but the
Mm-hmm.
impact that we have, it really does affect the one.
Yeah.
And one person, if one person's life can be improved by my actions, then my life has been well lived.
Yeah, you must be proud of that, exactly. And thank you so much, Mike. Your work is truly lifting communities with very, very successful things. That's all I can say.
Thanks so much for your time and thanks for sharing our message.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day.